Good morning from wherever you're watching us from, and happy back to school to all our students. Yes, you heard me right. It is our back to school edition, and I am so happy that today all we are going to do is have a conversation on going back to school. Today we don't have any guests with us, but you are my guest. Why? Because you are the one who is going back to school. So today is going to be more of an engagement, between us. If you're a student and you're going back to school, this episode right here is for you. If you're a parent and you have students that are going back to school, this episode is also for you right here now. My name is Ruth Wanjiru and this is Impact Dialogues. It is such a beautiful Monday morning. Jua ni kali, okay, si kali sana, but jua iko. It is some nice sun out there, nice sun that you can bask around with, and I'm hoping that you are okay. Sorry for that. I'm hoping that you are okay. I am hoping that you're in good health. And I'm hoping that your weekend was fantastic and it was superb. And I am also hoping that we are ready to get back to school. Now, today I want to hear all those stories about getting back to school. So I'm going to open my lines, all through the show so that we can continue and, discuss, about going back to school. What is it that we need to look into when we are going back to school? What conversations should be had about going back to school? Well, we are live on all our socials. That is the Oracle Television Network Facebook page. So you can make sure, if you're watching me on Facebook, just click on that like button, click on that share button. And of course, we are live on YouTube as well. So you can give me that thumbs up right there on YouTube, as well as subscribe to our YouTube channel. I will appreciate that much. You can also find me on my socials at Ruth Wanjiru everywhere. That is on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, whatever other social media platform you'll find Ruth Wanjiru there. Okay, and now to get us started, we always start with our did you know, right? And today in our did you know, I actually found something very interesting. We're not going to have our weather updates or traffic updates today because I have told you that today is a back to school session. So we want to make sure that you have as many calls as possible, as many messages as possible. And by the way, you can go ahead and write me a text right there on my number 0711 176 006. Tell me what back to school looks like for you. You might not be going back to school, you might be a parent. We want to revisit some of those moments when we were going back to school. How are they? Because I remember if there was a day that was hectic, it was the day just before you open school. Why? Kwa sababu siku anajua mahali bagi iko, haujui kwenye kiatu ya shule ulieka. You just, wakati ulifunga shule, ulitupa ukitupanga ukamaliza. And I've been seeing so many memes on TikTok. For that matter, I've been seeing so many videos on TikTok. Mtu anatafuta kitabu yake na bag na uniform kwenye alieka because it has been a whole week. It has been a whole week, a whole month, of staying at home without thinking about school. But saizi watu ni kurudi wanarudi shule. But back to our did you know of the day. Wangapi wanajua kuhusu encyclopedia? You do remember that, right? The encyclopedia, the ninis we used to use. So apparently on this day, that is the 28th of April, that was back in 1902. Where were you in 1902? I know it's a rhetorical question. I know wengi wetu hatukuwa, si ndio? Actually, I don't think anyone was there in 1902. Kunai? No, I don't think so. So in April 28th, that is on April 28th in 1902, the Encyclopedia Britannica, completed its 10th edition, and it was important because it marked a major leap in making knowledge accessible to students, scholars, and also curious minds across the world. Now, at a time when information wasn't, at our fingertips like today, that was in the 1900s, the encyclopedia served as a bridge, connecting people to new ideas, history, science, and discovery. And now, as we send our children back to school, and by the way, before I finish reading that, I don't know if you remember in your days, mlikuwa na encyclopedia, we used to have so many of them. And a fun fact is that back in the 1900s, they used to have like 1 million of them. them. Like they used to have like edition, umechukua mingi umezieka tu zimefuatana hivi, so you can go ahead and read them. Sijui kama nyinyi mlikuwa na hiyo, because I do remember we used to have, I think in our days we used to have something like that. The encyclopedia tulikuwa tunaipenda. Okay, tulikuwa tunaipenda. And of course to continue with that about the encyclopedia, it was one of the oldest and most respected encyclopedias in the world. That is the Encyclopedia Britannica. Remember, this was the 10th edition. Okay, so the first edition of the encyclopedia was published in 1768 in Scotland by 3 men. There was a printer, there was a publisher, and of course there had to be a scholar, right? There was a scholar, and they wanted to create a comprehensive reference work that would capture all human knowledge. That was the basis of, coming up with the encyclopedia, and it grew over time, and each edition, getting bigger and better and covering even more topics. Then in April 28th, like I mentioned, 1902, the 10th edition was complete, and it was a big deal because it wasn't just a reprint. It added a whole 11th volume of brand new information and updates, and it continued to grow and grow. And now, fun fact is, back then people bought entire sets of the encyclopedias to keep at home, like a mini library. And owning a set was a status symbol that showed you valued education. Unavenye siku hizi unatembeanga na certificate around that if someone wants to know that you're educated, you have a certificate to show for it. Now, back in those days, you having an encyclopedia really showed that you valued education, and really showed that you're a learned person. And just like then, back to school season reminds us that access to good knowledge can change lives. Now, this is for the students who are going back to school, because as much as we are, we are happy that you're going back to school, kuna wenye tunajua mjafurahia, kuna wenye mlikuwa mnataka kulalala kidogo. But the encyclopedia reminds us that access to education, access to good knowledge always changes lives. And we are hoping that munenda kusoma. Sijui kama siku hizi bado kuna kuanga na hizo encyclopedia, but we used to have them in our days. But it's so fun and such a sweet coincidence that today in history, the encyclopedia, the 10th edition was published, the encyclopedia, and that is what happened today in history. Tell me what you think about that as I await for your messages and also your call, because we've said that it is our back to school edition, and we want to have a conversation around going back to school. This comes to parents, this comes to students as well, because for students, you are expected to go to school and concentrate in school. You are expected to go back to school and make most of your time in school. And for parents as well, we are going to look at some of the tips. But before we do that, I do want to know where you're watching me from. 0711 176 006. Tell me where you're watching me from, and tell me what this back to school edition means for you. We are also live on Facebook as well, so pia hapo make sure that you send in your message and tell me where you're watching me from. Watu wa Maua, I am still waiting for feedback from Maua to tell us if our signals are back. Kindly tuambie kama signals imerudi. If you're there na huko Maua, kindly tell me if the signals are back so we can rest for once, because if you do not tell us if the signals are back, our technicians wouldn't know where to start from. Okay, we want to know if the signals are back, and so that we can sort it out if there is an issue there. So we are live on Facebook. That is what I was checking. We are live on Facebook, back to school edition. So you text me, you call me, you tell me what this back to school edition means for you. Okay, 0711 176 006. I see tumeanza kupata messages. Let me check that right now. Just a minute. Yeah, here we have it. Good morning, Ruth. Ulisema utakuwa kunywa kahawa pekee. Ai jamani. Jamani, waulizia kahawa yangu nini? Jamani, achana na kahawa yangu. Nilisema nitakuwa nikikunywa kahawa peke yangu na sitawapatia viko. Come on. But by the way, you can always go ahead and order Oracle TV bag. Lakini hujaniambia jina yako ni nani, but thank you so much for keeping it Impact Dialogues this morning. Kahawa sikunywi peke yangu. I am not taking coffee alone. But it's well. I see someone else anasema, hey, I'm Faye from Macha. Macha, I think it's Macha for Machakos. But Faye from Macha anasema, she is tuned in. Thank you so much, Faye. Haujatuambia back to school. Ni unarudi shule ama uko na mtu anarudi shule. And by the way, if you have someone who's going back to school, it is always good to give them an advice, one or two. Unajua, give them an advice, one or two. Waambie wakirudi shule wafanye hivi na hivi. Thank you, Faith from Macha. Thank you so much for staying tuned. Someone else here. Good morning, Ruth. Good morning, Rose. Jo amesema anaitwa Rose watching from Kangemi. Sister yangu mdogo anarudi shule kesho, kako PP2. I know hawezi sikia, but I wish her all the best. Wow, that's amazing. Thank you so much, Rose. I'm hoping sister yako mdogo amesikia mahali ambapo ako. Let me see, we continue to see more and more messages. Good morning, Ruth. Kahawa ulisema utakunywa peke yako. Alright, kahawa nitakunywa peke yangu. Sikunywi peke yangu. You guys are welcome to have coffee with me this morning. Just get coffee from your home so you can have this conversation right here. But thank you so much for tuning in. 0711 176 006 is my number. I am also going to be picking calls, so you can go ahead and call me and tell me a back to school edition inakaje kwako. As a parent, are you prepared to take your children back to school? As a student, are you ready to go back to school? Na nini umepata kwa itam? And also, do you have any advice for students who are going back to school? I have someone else here. Hey, ni mato tutarudi weno. Munarudi weno shule. That's nice. That is Martin. Mato jatuambi unatuwatch kutoka wapi. But as you go back to school, be careful and make sure that you concentrate. Oracle TV, hello.
A reverse call request.
Ay, jamani. Oracle TV, hello. Oracle TV, hello. Hello, tunaongea na nani?
Hello.
Tunaongea na nani?
Tunaongea na nini?
Kutoka wapi?
Tunaongea na Mweni.
Mweni kutoka wapi? Hello. Mweni unarudi shule?
Kangema.
Kutoka Kangema. Mnarudi shule lini? Kesho. Haya, sawa. Unataka kusalimia mwalimu mgani? Oh my gosh, that one left, but ni Mweni kutoka Kangema anasema wanarudi shule kesho. Ni kesho, amesema ni kesho. Kesho is on Tuesday. I think most schools are going back tomorrow. Kuna wenye kuna wenye washarudi, but we do wish you the best. Faye kutoka Macha anasema I'm going back to school tomorrow. I'm in form 4. Alafu anasema pray for me and I wish all students a good back to school. Faye, do not worry. As long as you're connected here, success is a must. You are going to be successful in school and you are also going to be safe in school and go and concentrate in school. Thank you so much for keeping it Oracle Television Network. Uni Faye amesema anarudi form 4. Na Faye hujatuambia unarudi shule gani, but it's well. Thank you so much. And for parents out there, are you ready to take your children back to school? Najua mumekaa nao sana na mnapenda kukaa nao nyumbani, but time is here and we are taking them back to school. You tell me how back to school looks like for you this morning. 0711 176 006. Naona tuko na message ingine hapa. Hello, good morning Oracle TV. Naitwa Masi kutoka Kangemi. Watu wa Kangemi leo ni wengi. Naitwa Masi kutoka Kangemi. Mimi sirudi shule, but I would like to wish all students a good back to school. Kindly let them make the Bible their best friend. Let them pray because schools are not like we used to know them. Ngoja kidogo. Schools are not like we used to know them. schools are not like we used to know them. There is a lot of dangers nowadays in school, but may they be protected in the name of Jesus. Amen. Thank you so much for that message. And Kangemi is tuned in. Thank you so much. Nangoja sasa yako. Where are you watching us from? And what does go back to school look like for you as a parent as well, and also as a student? And now our conversation this morning is tailored around back to school, okay? As I continue picking more and more of your calls, as I continue also, reading more of your messages, tuko pia live pale Facebook, so you can you can comment down there, and I will be going through them as we continue. So I want us to start with our students. Back to school. How does back to school look like for you? Tunajua mumekaa sana nyumbani, mukakaa sana nyumbani mpaka saa hizi kuna mtu mwenye ajui kwenye kitabu iko. We know, ninawaona wale watu wenye muliachana na vitabu, the moment you guys put your books down, hapo ndo ilishia, mukatupa, saa hizi ndo mnaanza kuzitafuta. But for students, we want you to have a good term, and that's why I noted a few tips, for how students are going to succeed in school, because this is back to school edition. Number one, stay organized. As a student, make sure that you stay organized, okay? Use something like a planner, nowadays there are these notebooks that kuna kaplana pale, and if you can't get that, use an exercise book. Just stay organized. Be sure that ukiamka asubuhi, this is what I'm going to revise, this is what I'm going to read, this is what I'm going to be doing, so that we make sure that time yako haitapotelea bure hivyo. I see we have another message here. Let me read that for you. Good morning, Ruth. Ati happy back to school. Mimi sirudi shule jamani. Lakini happy back to school. Anasema happy back to school edition. I would like to wish my sister I would like to wish my sister a happy back to school. Let me see that again. I would like to wish my sister a happy back to school, and I would like to tell her and all other students out there, kindly revise, musianze last minute ukiingia second term. Okay, kidogo umenipoteza. Ukiingia second term, nitumie tu your message tena kwa sababu ni kama umenipoteza, but I think ajaribu kusema ukiingia second term usiingie na mchezo. I am thinking that is what she tried to say, but message yako imefika. Thank you so much for keeping it tuned. 0711 176 006. Tell me where you're watching me from, and also tell us, how does back to school look like for you? As a parent, are your children ready to go back to school? And also, it is good to give them advice as they are going back to school. Those who are going back, in primary school, wale wako high school, college, bado wako shule, si ndio? College bado mko shule? I think college bado wako shule, because universities are still in school, unless semester zao zina differ. But that's how it works. But give them something, for them to chew on as they go back to school. Good morning, Ruth. Ni Kennedy kutoka Matandarua. Ni wapi? Kutoka Matandarua. Tunarudi shule kesho. Okay, wanarudi shule kesho. Thank you so much, Kennedy. Thank you so much, Kennedy. Are you ready? Unajua ni watu mnaniambia mnarudi kesho, lakini mniambii kama mko ready kurudi shule. Are you guys ready to go back to school? Are you ready to go back to school? That is the biggest question of the day. But 0711 176 006, I will continue reading, reading some of your messages. I will continue picking your calls as well, as we continue to look at how back to school looks like, and how what parents are going through size, because saizi najua kuna wale ambao saizi stress ambayo iko ni kuambia mtoto atafute kitabu penye alieka, na kuambia mtoto atafute mpaka kalamu penye alieka, and bags and all that. But for students, we go back to what we were reading, and we were saying that this time you have to stay organized. That is for every student. Unaona Mato ni Mato, let me check that again. Alikuwa Mato, kulikuwa na Mato. I've seen Phyllis somewhere, wanasema wanarudi shule kesho. I've also seen Faye. Ini yenu bila kubagua, okay? And we said that number one, you can stay organized in school, okay? So make sure you use a planner or something. You don't necessarily have to have a diary for you to plan out for that, okay? You can have just your exercise book. You just you just plan it well. Kuna wenye wanatumianga rula na unaanga kutumia vizuri, and then just make sure that before you sleep you know what you're going to do tomorrow, you know what you're going to revise tomorrow, apart from the normal lessons that you're going to have. Always make sure that you're a step ahead. And there was someone who used to tell us kitambo that, you know, being steps ahead of the teacher is always a good thing. Why? Because wakati anakufunza hiyo kitu ulikusha isoma before, so when the teacher is coming to teach, he or she is teaching something that you already know, and it gets you more time to, you know, to understand. Also, in terms of organizing, organize your study materials and keep you know, your backpack neat. Tukue wasafi hii term tukifungua shule. And also this will help you reduce stress and save more time. Ukiweka bag yako ikiwa neat, itakusaidia ku reduce stress ya kuangalia nilirushanga bairo wapi, nilirushanga kalamu wapi, si ndio? Let's say organize. Then number 2, develop a consistent study routine. Develop a consistent study routine. What do I mean by that? Set aside some time for you to study. If you're studying in the morning, see, wachana tu na lessons. Achana na lessons za shule. In the morning, when you're in your preps, unanywa na preps, for those who are going to boarding schools, in the morning when you have preps, you know, set aside your study routine. Okay? We decide on Monday, kutoka hisa hadi hisa, I am going to read on this and I am going to revise on this. And let me tell you, the success of that is going to come from consistency. If you're consistent in it and if you keep doing that. Now hold on to that thought. I'm going to come back there. I see we have more messages in here. Nona, good morning, Oracle. My name is Hannah Nyangi. Hi, Hannah. How are you doing? Na nasema, and I want to wish my kids, Chantel and Brighton, a happy back to school edition. Chantel and Brighton, mnapendwa na Hannah na mama yenu. Mama yenu amesema wanataka kuwa wish a happy back to school edition. Thank you, Hannah, for you know, for keeping it tuned and for wishing them as well. Nona mwingine anasema hapa, hello Ruth, it's Munene Dennis from Gatundu North. Gatundu North. Ningesema Gatundu South kidogo ni kama tungekuwa tukienda home na hapo. But amesema ni kutoka Gatundu North na anasema wishing all Ndekei Secondary School students all the best. Ndekei Secondary School iko kule Gatundu North. You've been wished the best by one Munene Dennis. Yeah, thank you so much Munene Dennis. I see we have a call. Let me see if we can pick that. Okay, ni kama tumempoteza, but you call again, we are going to pick that. Yeah, you call again and we are going to pick that. Again, na kama network imemsumbua ikakatika, but it's okay. You just call us and we are going to pick. So as we were saying, this is back to school edition. By the way, if you're just joining us, it is back to school edition. And what we are doing, we are wishing all students out there who are going back to school a very happy back to school. You back at home, either you're a teacher, either you're a parent, you can, you know, say hi to them or wish them a happy back to school. And also add a tip or an advice hapo chini ndio waeke manani wakati wanarudi shuleni. Sawa sawa? So number 2, we were saying you develop a consistent, you know, study routine. And from the word consistent, I said that, you see, consistency is what is going to matter. Ukisema on Monday, I'll be studying, let's say, kwa wale wako high school, biology comes to mind. I don't know why, but biology ndio imekuja to mind. If you're going to be studying biology, you know, on Monday mornings, make sure that you are consistent. You see, if you train your brain to work like that, it only takes 21 days for your, you know, brain to, you know, anza kushika rada. But have a consistent study routine. Set aside a specific time each day for your work, for those who are day scholars, and for your homework. Also boarders, I think mnakuanga na some, you know, set aside work. We don't call it homework kwa sababu mnakuanga shule. But set aside some specific time for each and every one. If it's homework, if you're at home, set aside time for homework and time for studying. Time for homework is not time for studying, guys. Si tu kwa sababu umefanya homework you don't study. Make sure you set aside time for each. And also a routine will help you build, you know, good habits and keep procrastinations at bay. And we do know that procrastination is the enemy of all success. Kuprocrastinate ni ile kusema tu nitasoma tu hiyo biology kesho, nitasoma tu hiyo nini kesho. So procrastination is going to be kept at bay by consistency. Actually, consistency is the best antidote for that. Good morning Ruth, mimi naitwa Job Mutwa. Job Mutwa, message yako imefika home. Thank you so much, but you haven't wished anyone, a happy going back to school. Hey Ruth, Nicolo, tunarudi shule Wednesday. Kenye kinafanya nishtuke ni homework ndio nimeanza. Jamani. No, Kolo kuja hapa tuitane mkutano. Unaanza aje homework leo? Na wanarudi shule kesho. No, wanarudi shule wanarudi shule Wednesday, and Wednesday is just a day. Wednesday is just a day after tomorrow. Na anasema actually kenye namshtua ni saizi ndiye anaanza homework. Kolo, more grace. Just more grace ya kumaliza your homework. But thank you so much. We do wish you a happy back to school edition. Naona mwingine hapa anasema, good morning Ruth, my name is Lynette na watch kutoka Muranga. I would like to wish all my classmates a happy back to school. Lakini sasa ni classmates, hujatuambia ni shule gani. But it's well, all my classmates a happy back to school, and I would like to remind them that remember you came to school alone and you are going to go back alone. So tukuje tukiwa serious. That's nice. Asante sana Lynette. Anasema mukuje mukiwa serious. Na anasema musikuje na jokes. Mwingine anasema hapa, hi, my name is Nancy, watching from Nax. I'm going back to school on Wednesday. I'm in Form 4. Hi, see we have a missed call right there. Just call me back, I'm going to pick. Anasema, I'm going to school back on Wednesday. I'm in Form 4. Just wish a success on this last year. Okay, just kidogo, let me understand that message. So she's saying she's in Form 4 and just wish success on this last year, and if you do, may God, now I understand. Do not worry Nancy, as long as you're connected here, you are going to make it. Don't worry, this last year is just going to be amazing. You have to succeed, Cindy. You have to succeed, and you are going to succeed. You have, it is a must for you to succeed, because at the end of the day, the Bible tells us that, what does the Bible tell us? We are the head and not the tail. So definitely you have to be the head, Cindy. But thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, that is Nancy watching from Nakuru. I see we have someone here. Hi, ni Brian watching from Kangema. Kangemi inakuanga Muranga. Brian watching from Kangema. I would like to wish my little brother a happy back to school. Na niambie students wote, life is short and simple. Make the most of it while you can. Wow, that's actually beautiful and amazing. Make the most of it while you can. Life is short and simple. I like that. Thank you so much. 0711-176-006 is my WhatsApp number. You can also go ahead and call me on that number. What are we doing today? Today you are my guest actually. Every Impact Dialogues we have to have guests to have beautiful conversations. And the most important conversation is the conversation that has to do with you. And this is back to school edition. So the conversation is more or less tailored to you. The conversation is all about you this morning. Whether you're a parent, whether you're a student, it is back to school edition. And we want to make sure that in this back to school edition, you are not left out. So whether you're a parent, you can get to wish your child a happy back to school. Whether you are a student, you can, wish your other students. Umeona watu wakiwish other students from their areas. Wanasema, wanawawish a happy back to school edition. And also, you can go ahead and give them a piece of advice for that. And maybe before I continue, are you in Nakuru and you are looking for where to take your child? Now, Bright Shine Schools is the perfect school for you, because it is back to school session. And by the way, this is back to school edition, and I would really like to mention this for you. So Bright Shine Schools, it is right there, Pale Free area. You are a parent who has a child in kindergarten. You have a child in a grade 1, grade 2. Bright Shine Schools is the best school for you. Why? Because right here, they have, well-equipped teachers. They have well-equipped classes to to cater for all their needs. That is when it comes to CBC and all that. These are students that are very well groomed. These are teachers that will make sure that your students get whatever they want. So kama uko Nakuru, I will be talking about Bright Shine schools more and more in just a while, but we go back to what we are talking about. We are talking about students organizing themselves wakiwa shule. And we said number 1, stay organized. Okay, number 2, develop a consistency study routine. All right, let me look for another one. Number 3, manage your time well. Okay, manage your time well. And I think most students kenye watu nakosea tukiwa shule inakuanga kuto manage nini yako vizuri. Hold your thought onto that. Now that is Bright Shine schools. That was what I was telling you about. You are a parent out there and you've been looking for a school, and especially for those of you parents who look for daycares for your children, look for playgroups for your children. Umepeleka watoto kwa zile daycare za kwenu hapo karibu, kidogo unapata mtoto ametoka na alama, kidogo unapata mtoto analia, you don't know why, and you are just not settled in your heart where your child is staying. So Bright Shine schools comes to help you out. Okay, so they have very well trained teachers, they have state of the art facilities, they have well groomed teachers, they have actually I think it is one of the very few schools that teaches the Kenya Sign Language. You won't find it anywhere. Bright Shine school students are always smart, they are always looking nice, and one thing, they are always they are always on the top, because this is a school that is speaking elegance. All their classes are carpeted. You are sure that your child or rather is not going to come back home akikaa tu uchafu. That is Bright Shine schools. We are going to speak about that in just a while. Now I see someone here, Mato kutoka Mato hujasema unatoka wapi, but anasema ako na swali. Mato, uliza swali yako, we are going to answer that. Okay, tutajibu hiyo. For Bright Shine, hold on to that thought. I'm going to tell you how to contact them and how to get there if you're in Nakuru. These are for people in Nakuru. Okay, but we go back to our students. Manage your time well. How do you manage your time well? Unajua kitu ambayo inatusumbuanga students sana tukiwa shule ni kuto manage time. Unapata uko na free lessons kama 3-4, let's say in a day. Kukuwa na 3 in a day ni holiday. Kuna tunakuanga mwalimu hataezi kubali hiyo kitu. Let's say you have one free lesson. You find that this one free lesson, I think it's 40 minutes. Back in my days, we used to have 40 minutes for that. You nowadays inakuanga lesson moja ni how long. But imagine you have one free lesson of 40 minutes, right? So this one free lesson, unapata by the time inaisha, you've not done anything with it. You have a lot of breaks. You've not done anything with it. You have a lot of, after saa 10 pale games huko, you do not have any classes, but you do not manage that time well. You find that you either use that time either doing nothing, either loitering around or doing nothing that, is of much benefit. So what we are saying is, wakati unarudi hii second term, ushaisikia nguvu mpya, mwamko mpya. When you are going back to school this second term, let us go with that new phase, because we want to succeed, right? And especially those who are in form 4, au ambao hii ndo mwaka ya mwisho ndo malize shule, or rather ndo mfanye hiyo KCSE. This is time to restructure yourself, especially if you're going back to school either tomorrow or Wednesday. You still have today to restructure all that. Get to know during my free times, what will I be doing? Of course, there are extracurricular activities, there are drama classes, drama clubs, there are chess clubs. I've had others, kuna football clubs, basketball clubs, all these. Just get to manage your time well, so that you make sure that you do not waste any time. Because my head teacher used to tell me, kitambo, that time wasted can never be recovered, right? And who knows, what you do with that time might actually be of much help to you. So that is number 3. Was it number 3 ama number 4? Hata nimesahau penye tulikuwa. But anyway, it's a pointer right still. But that is it. Manage your time well. Manage your time well. Then the last one here. The last one here inasema, I actually like this one. Stay away from bad companies. Stay away from bad companies, my guys. stay away from bad companies. If you're going back to school, you know, walikuwa wanasema birds of a feather flock together. Now, if the birds that you're feathering around with, if the birds that you are around with have a blue feather, you know, all the mpaka wakati birds zina fly juu, you've never seen different colors ikifly pamoja, si ndio? So if you stay with people who are bad, if you stay with bad company, they are going to corrupt. And actually, I think there used to be a saying, bad company corrupts good morals. I'm hoping I'm right on that one. Yeah, so keep the right company. And also the last one and not the least, keep God close to you while in school, because at the end of the day, God is the starter of everything. God is the finisher of everything. If you keep him on your side while in school, things are going to work out well. That is for our students. I'm hoping that some of these pointers are going to help you out. Let me see if we have more and more people coming in. Good morning, Ruth. Loving the show. Sorry for that. Loving the show. My name is Kevin. Now I watch kutoka Rongai. Mimi narudi shule Thursday. Well, Kevin, you are a special case. Thursday, na kuna wale ambao mpaka leo asharudi. I know there are those who went back to school today, because today in the morning you could see all sorts of students, all sorts of different, you know, uniforms around you know, town and all that. But afadhali wewe Kelvin unarudi on Thursday, and he says to all my students, let us work hard because hard work pays. Wow, that's amazing. Thank you so much, Kelvin. Thank you so much, Kelvin. Do continue sending me your messages, 0711 176 006, and also text me and tell me where you're watching me from, if our signals are okay, especially Maua. Watu wa Maua, I need someone from Maua, that is in Meru Maua. Sini Meru Maua, yeah. I need someone from Meru Maua to just tell me if our signals are back already as we continue with our back to school edition. Because by the way, if you do not tell us whether our signals are back, our technicians will not be able to work on it. So if you're watching us from Maua, kindly niambie kama tuko sawa, kama tuko loud and clear, as you continue telling me how your back to school edition look like. Now, we've looked at the students, right? And students tumeelewana, kapish, tumeelewana, si ndio? Now we want to look at some of the tips for parents to stay connected, you know, after school open. For parents to stay connected with their children after school opens. Now we do know that parents are very busy people, and we do appreciate them, because it is out of their busy routine that they are able to pay for our school fees. They are able to, you know, afford everything that is needed at school, and they are able to afford all our needs. Okay, but now there is a need of a parent staying connected to a child while still in school. So I noted a few of those. Let me check. We can start with number one. Create a daily check-in habit. What is a daily check-in habit? That one that you just get to check in how your child is doing. You know, how was your day? What happened in school today? What new did you learn today? You know, every even just 10 minutes. Hata kama ni ile dakika tu 5 wakati umeingia kwa nyumba, just have a chance to speak to your child and just know how their you know, their time was. Just give them that 10 minutes of undivided attention to just know how their school was, to just know how their day went, to just know if anyone bullied them, to just know if they need anything, you know, for school and all that. Just you know, what was the best part of your day. Just simple and just simple and simple and out of nini questions. You know, those are the small moments that create, you know, better bonds while they are in school. Number two, as a parent, you can also celebrate the small wins. I mean, your child amekuja amekwambia, today by the way I was selected as the class prefect. It is good to always congratulate them. Do not wait for the big achievement. Don't celebrate. It is good to celebrate them, you know, even for the small wins. Like today I got a 78, jana nilikuwa na 70. It is not that a big win, but it's still a win. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, it builds confidence and also keeps conversation going. Now, one thing, actually statistics show that teachers nowadays know students better than their parents do. That is statistics speaking. And you know, it is good to change the narrative. It is good to change the story of how that looks like, and make sure that you as a parent, you take the initiative of you not allowing the teacher know your child more than you. Can you imagine how embarrassing that is, that the teacher knows more about your child than you do? And of course there are things that the teacher would know that you wouldn't know kwa sababu anakaa na mtoto sana during the school, but always be involved in everything your child is doing. Just that 10 minutes of undivided attention, just that, you know, congratulations, I am so happy for you, I am so proud for you, will go a long way in building confidence and also keep communication going. And also we have something else. Use technology wisely. You know, a simple thinking of you text during the day can mean the world. That is for older kids, those who have phones. You ni kumtext to, you know, how are you doing, you know, how is school and all that, especially for parents who travel a lot. That is going to work for them. Then we have stay involved without hovering. Just stay involved in everything your child is doing. Your child is interested in football, stay involved. Your child is interested in drama, stay involved. Your child is interested in other things, stay involved without hovering. You know their teachers names. No, kuna watu ambao hajuangi mpaka majina ya walimu wa watoto wao. Okay, know your teacher's name, know, you know, the key school dates, the key school events, especially for things that they love. They have a basketball game, they have a football game, wako na music festival. Make sure that hizo ni dates zenye unaweka, especially this second term. Ya kwanza ilikuwa drama festivals. The first time I think tulikuwa na drama festivals. We are now going into music festivals. Keep the key dates in mind so that you can always encourage your child, you know, to continue involving themselves in this situation. Know their best friends. Well, jaribu kujua mtoto wako anatembea na nani, because at the end of the day you never know what my children go through back at school. Get to know who they work with, get to know who they talk to, what do they talk to them about. Just be involved in everything, you know, that they are doing. And also teach emotional check-ins. Now for this one, don't ask just about the grades but also about the feelings. Mtoto amekuja amekwambia maybe last time alipata, let's say, a 50, this time ameanguka amepata a 48. Get to know how they feel about that. Get to know if they improved, how they feel about that. Do they like that they improved and all that. Then last and most important, pray and reflect together. Now I do love how some parents do it actually, and you know, I see most parents, and I think I saw that with you know, with my mom as I was growing up. Every day when you're going to school, when I was in day school, they would lay their hands on you and pray for you. Get to pray for your children for covering, because the tongue of a mother, the tongue of a father is stronger than any other tongue out there. So when you bless your child in the morning, that child is bound to have a good day. So pray together. Teach your child to pray in the morning before watoke. Pray together, reflect together, you know, teach them the importance of why you should command your morning and all that. Now that is for the parents. Naona mwingine hapa, we have a question here. Someone is asking, how can someone make a good study habit? This is Mike from Kisumu. A good study habit. Mike, you know, consistency is the key. And why do I say consistency is the key? Ukiamua, for example, let's say biology. Nasijui mbona leo natumia biology sana. Ukiamua biology una study on Monday. Okay? Unaamua, and by the way, you might be having biology as your favorite subject. Sasa to study biology while forgetting others. A good study habit is the one that involves all the subjects, and also the one that is not going to drain you. Sawa sawa. Now usi overdo. Just because tumesema usome tujasema overdo. Sawa sawa, ni unajipeleka pole pole. So make sure that you know, it is at a good time when you're fresh. I see most people reading in the morning. When you decide to read in the morning, just make sure that each and every morning utaamka and be consistent, no matter how you're going to get out of that bed. You see, that thing that will make you get out of that bed, kama ni kelele na kufanyanga uamke. Like I personally had a problem while in school. I had a problem waking up. Mimi, I devised a way. I told my bedmate, mimi unanipiga tu teke, unanitoa tu nje ndio niamke, si ndio? And for those who have alarms, those who are the scholars, weka alarm ambayo iko na kelele kabisa, like the thing that is going to make you get out of that bed so that you can study. Use it. Okay, so number 1, consistency. A good reading habit will involve consistency. Number 2, it will involve discipline. If you start this week, do not stop next week. Ni tuanze hii wiki na tuendelee nayo. Also, a good study habit will involve good time management. If you say that you're going to study for 40 minutes ama for an hour, do not study for 20 usikie umechoka alafu uanze kunini. Hapana. Let's make sure discipline is key, and you are going to have a very good study habit. And one thing for sure, you are going to see results. Na kama hii ni kitu ambayo hujazoea, you try it for 21 days. Science proves it that when you do something for more than 21 days, inakuwa registered kwa akili yako. Okay, Mike, sawa, create that study habit. And thank you so much. Tuned in from Kisumu. Hey Ruth, I'm Lucy watching from Mwiki is in Kasarani. Thank you so much. Wishing my son happy back to school, and I declare wisdom and more understanding. Amen. Thank you so much, Lucy from Kasarani. Ameamua ku decree and declare upon the life of her child. That is true, that she has declared wisdom and more understanding. Thank you so much, Lucy, for tuning in and for getting involved. Today the conversation is about you. Where are you watching us from? How does back to school look like you? Who are you wishing a happy back to school edition? 0711 176 006 is my number. You just call me, text me, and also wish someone a happy back to school. Give them a tip of advice or something like that. And we are good because today is for you, by the way. If you notice, we always have these different conversations every morning on Impact Dialogues, right? But today the conversation is with you. Why? Because you matter as well as a parent or as a student. Good morning, Ruth. Let me check that. Good morning, Ruth. This is Nancy. I am watching from Matunda ni wapi? I am watching from Matunda. Matunda looks like Machakos, but asema I am watching from Matunda. Wishing my younger sister a happy back to school. Na nitamwambia aache jokes. Valid point. That's a valid point. Na ameambiwa aache jokes. That's a valid point. Thank you so much, Nancy, all the way from Matunda. Say hi to everyone in Matunda and all the students in Matunda. Happy back to school edition. Happy back to school edition, especially for those who are going back kesho. I hear kuna wenye wanaenda Thursday. Kuna mwenye ameniambia anaenda Thursday. Anaitwa Kelvin. I don't know ni Kevin kutoka wapi, but yours is a special case. Utatuambia kwa nini unarudi shule Thursday. You must be very lucky. You must be a very lucky person for you to go back to school on Thursday wakati wengine washarudi. Okay, and so we were speaking about the number last point or key point Apple. Pray and reflect together with a child. Even a short prayer before school or a moment of gratitude at a bedtime will keep the connection with your child and also will build a foundation of faith with your child. Teach your children how to pray. Teach your children that without God nothing is possible. Wafunze that anything that does not involve God cannot work. If they go to school without God, it will not work. Just teach them that. Teach them to always look unto God each and every day. And with this, I'm thinking. With this, I'm thinking. We are going to hii term inakaa mzuri, si ndio? Hii term inaenda kukaa mzuri. Now for the students, someone here has sent something. Ajaniambia ni nani, but it's well. Anasema, another key point for students I would give ni stay positive and keep a growth mindset. Stay positive and keep a growth mindset. And he or she goes ahead to continue and asema, challenges are part of learning. When things get tough, remind yourself, I can learn this and I can grow. A positive attitude will help you stay motivated even when school feels hard. And I know sometimes School feels hard, and we've all been there. And we know there are those times that inafikanga and you just feeling like, it's the end of it. You're just feeling like hapana, imekuwa too much. School sometimes get hard, but when you keep a positive mindset, as whoever has texted us is telling us, because hajaniambia anaitwa nani na hajatuambia ana watch kutoka wapi, but thank you so much for that. It is such a nice one. And also naona ameongeza ingine, practice self reflection at the end of each week. Think about what went well and what you could improve. This can help you identify areas to focus on and set new goals. Actually, that is very important. It's good to reflect. I always like reflecting at the end of the day. You just check how your day was. For example, you've created your routine, okay? And we know that there are lessons, that you have lessons at school. Kuna ile timetable ambayo umeundiwa na mwalimu, si ndio? But you should also have your own timetable, okay, with your routine, right? So it is always so good kukaa pale jioni before you go to bed, before you list things that you're going to do tomorrow. It is good to see, what did I do today? What new did I learn today? Always make sure that you're learning something new each and every day. Learn something new each and every day, and that is going to go a long way in helping you out and creating a perfect and easy time while in school. And also okay, good morning Ruth, nimepata message yako. I think this is actually from a cousin. Good morning Ruth, I'm wishing Stacy a happy back to school, and to all the students wa Oracle TV. I'm thinking alikuwa jaribu kumaanisha to all the students who are fans of Oracle TV. Success isn't just about being perfect. It's about growing through the challenges and making progress every day. Don't forget, the effort you put in now will pay off later. Wow, that's amazing. That's an amazing quote. The effort that you put in right now will always pay off later. I think I've had times and again, pay now and play later, right? Pay now and play later. Jemo watching from Kirinyaga anasema show iko fine. Jemo, who is going to school? Nani una wish happy back to school? Ama wewe ndio unarudi shule? Ni vizuri kutuambia pia kama wewe ndio unarudi shule, so that we can do this together. So I want to read some more messages. This will be maybe 3 or 4 messages, and maybe if we have calls, pick 2 calls before we wind up and end the show. And before we end that, this is a good chance to talk about Bright Shine Schools, right? Bright Shine Schools, kwa wale watu ambao wako Nakuru. Anyone watching me from Nakuru, I'm hoping that you're all ears, because this is some very important and significant information right here. So you who is watching us from Nakuru and you are a parent, okay? So have you been looking for a school to take your child, a school that has the state-of-the-art facilities, a school that has well-equipped teachers, a school that have, everything that your child needs for the CBC curriculum? Because we do know that CBC curriculum is a little bit demanding, and so this one needs a school that has each and every step that the child is going to need. It needs every facility for each and every step and of learning for your child. Now this is where Bright Shine School comes in. Now Bright Shine Schools is located just in a free area, Nakuru, along the Nakuru Nairobi highway, just opposite Nakuru Blanket, and this school is just perfect for your child. Is it a child that is in playgroup? We have that for you. Is it a child that is in, pre-primary? We have that for you. And also a child that is in, grade 1, grade 2, we have that for you. So you can always make sure to reach out to us. We are going to put, that number on the screen in just a while for more information on Bright Shine Schools, because this is a school that you cannot afford, to not take your child to, especially if you are in Nakuru. These are children that you find them and they are speaking good English, and actually it's one of the few schools that is teaching sign language to our young students. So tell me, what other school looks good better than that? Okay, I'm going to give you the details later, but first of all, we have a message here. Hi Ruth, hi ni Ruth, this one is my namesake. Nasema, hi ni Ruth, I'm wishing my sis Fiona a happy back to school. Fiona, umewishiwa a happy back to school by your sister Ruth. Thank you so much, Ruth. And that one is my namesake. Thank you so much, Ruth. Hey Ruth, this is Natasha watching from Njoro. Shoi Kolit Sana. Thank you for giving us a back to school edition. Wishing all the students in Njoro a happy back to school. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Time is not on our side, but we will read 2 or 3 messages before we wind up the show. And as I tell you more about Bright Shine Schools. Bright Shine Schools, if you're in Nakuru, that is the perfect school to take your child to. That is a perfect school to, have your child start their foundation. And we know that foundations are very important, that where your child starts is very important. And at Bright Shine Schools, they are giving your child that foundation of having everything they need. And as I mentioned earlier, CBC is a bit demanding, and therefore it needs teachers that are very keen to the students. It needs a school that has the facilities that the child will need each and every step of the way. And that is where Bright Shine Schools comes in, located just a few meters. Actually I think it's in free area, not a few meters in free area, just opposite Nakuru Blankets. It's along Nairobi Nakuru Highway. Best school to take your child. Okay, I have another message here. This is Mike kutoka Kisumu. Anasema about the study habit. I have understood and I'm going to practice it. Thank you. You are going to practice it. Asante sana Mike. And we know that you are going to be successful. Hii term tumeamua, we are showing up and we are showing off. Showing up is showing up. Showing off nile una show off because we are going to be ready for this term, because this term is going to favor us. Okay, and now I see we are out of time. I had promised to pick a few calls, lakini naona we are running out of time, and I want to thank each and every person who has joined us for Impact Dialogues this morning. I do hope that you've enjoyed our back to school edition. Now, to every parent out there taking your child back to school, we do wish you luck. Please pray for them before they go back to school. Tafadhali waombea kabla warudi shule. That is for the boarders and for those who are the scholars. Tutakuwa tukiwaombea kila asubuhi, si ndio? But for parents out there, we wish you luck as you take your children back to school. And for students out there, whether you're in primary school, whether you are in a pre-primary, I think wanarudi kesho, si ndio? Whether you are in high school and whether you are in college na bado uko shule, as you go back to school, kindly let's manage our time well. Let's learn as much as you can. Na tumesema you make sure that each and every day you learn something new. And also as you go back to school, do not leave God home uende shule peke yako. No, if you're going to school, carry God wherever you're going with him, because he is going to help you, with everything that you're going to need in school. Because with God, everything is possible, okay? And create that study time habit, create more good habits at school, respect your teachers, respect your fellow students, and also learn to keep time at school as well, and let us behave well in school. That is for all our students. And from right here at Impact Dialogues, we want to wish every student in the country a happy back to school edition. Go to school and be fruitful, okay? Go to school and succeed. Ndo mkirudi ile ya mkifunga shule midterm, ndio mkifunga midterm, hapana tuseme mkifunga end term, si ndio? Mkifunga end term, you are going to come and we are going to speak about that success. We are going to have a special edition just to welcome you back home from schools, okay? And now that we are out of time, thank you so much for everyone who joined in for our Impact Dialogues this morning. And of course, thank you to our super producer Frederick for producing for us this morning. And to you, our Oracle TV viewers, we do love you, we do appreciate you, and we do honor you so much. For everyone who watched us on Facebook and also on YouTube, my name is Ruth Wanjiru. This has been the Impact Dialogues. And now until Wednesday, stay safe, stay blessed, and stay happy.
Are you a young mother wondering where to leave your baby as you go for your daily work? Are you tired of repeated stresses from house girls not handling your baby well? Now I'm coming to you with solutions. At Nakuru Brighton Schools, we have a daycare that offers extremely good care for your baby. We have a daycare that has comfortable beds, good environment, serene atmosphere for your young jewel, for your young angel. Enroll with us and enjoy working at your comfort without stresses of how could your baby be, did she sleep during the day, did she develop a fever or something like that. Join us at Nakuru Brighton and have stress-free life of working to build the nation and even to care for your child. At Nakuru Brighton Schools, we are not just an ordinary school. We are the best school in Nakuru town, offering opportunities for learners from playgroup, PP1, PP2, and grade 1. At Nakuru Brighton School, we have so many activities for your young learner. We even have an extracurricular activity where young learners are even taught sign language. How is that, my viewer? By enrolling your child to the best school where the foundation of their academic journey matters the most. Aside academia, our classrooms are well built. Each class is carpeted, making sure that your child will not be messing around in the dust or on the ground where the floor is very cold. I wish to extend an invitation to you. Our admissions are still in the progress. Feel free to visit our school in Nakuru, free area right opposite Blankets. We work from 8 to 5 p.m. I'm looking forward to meeting you as we engage more to admit our learners to the best school in the city. Nakuru Brighton Schools,